Olá pessoal, já estamos ao vivo.
Building your business online? Go to Wix.com and get your site up and running with a tailored creation experience. Add what you need for your business and pick a design that matches your style. Customize it with complete flexibility, down to the very last detail. Turn it up with advanced animations and videos to grab people's attention. And whatever your next move is, we got you covered. Sell products with an online store, take bookings, and build yourself an online community. With the right marketing tools, reach your audience wherever they are. And use your personalized analytics dashboard to shape your business's growth smarter. If you need anything, we're here for you every step of the way, 24/7. Think it, create it. Go to Wix.com and build your business online today.
Olá, tudo bem pessoal? Vamos aqui hoje falar sobre o hipertireoidismo autoimune, também conhecido como doença de Graves. A doença de Graves
One of the best ways to get your community involved and engaged on your website interactively and talking about topics you're blogging about or your website is about is a forum. The great things about a forum is that not only yourself can engage with your community directly, but it also gives the other people the opportunity to respond and to interactively talk to people like themselves. Now, of course, in WordPress you have this comment functionality where people can just add their opinion and a feedback to whatever you're posting on your website. But the problem with comments is that they're always related to a post or to a page. So they cannot just create comments about a general topic or about a new topic themselves, the community, I mean. So a forum is a really good solution to actually fill this gap and to have kind of an independent and individual discussion place. If you want to add a forum to your WordPress installation, then it is very easy as just installing one plugin. One very good plugin for that is the bbPress, and you already find it here. When you click on plugins, at least in my case now, I find it without even searching for it. I didn't have to look for it, and I already saw it on here. You already see here quite a lot of active installs and quite a good rating. And yeah, let's give it a try. Let's install it to our WordPress webpage. And there's nothing else you need to do. You don't have to prepare anything, don't have to create any pages. It will be all done quite automatically. And I'll show you in a second how to customize it and how to really implement it well. Okay, I activated it now. And then we notice that here on the left side we have a couple of new menu items. One is forums, one is topics, and one is replies. So it already makes some sense. It sounds quite related to forums, and in forum we basically just have another content type like posts and pages and comments and so on. So all that we can do here is very intuitively, it's very easy to just add a new forum. So let's suppose we want to build up a forum for web development or web design or something like that. So I would have to have some forum that's called WordPress.
Tem quadro de uma perda de peso não programada.
And I create another forum that is called hosting.
Perde peso apesar de comer normal,
and I just
ou comer
create
até
a basic layout, a couple of forums here that we can view them in an index, and I show you in a second how to do it. I create one more standard forum here. The next one could be called WordPress
mais acelerado,
plugins.
então a pessoa vai muitas vezes no banheiro, pode ser diarreia, e esse é o quadro de tireotoxicose.
Okay, and now
que
we
não dá
have
para
this
distinguir muito
short list
quando
of
é
basic
por
forums,
nódulo, quando
and
é
how
por
do we get them
tireoidite, que é aquela
displayed
inflamação
on
da
a
tireoide
page?
que joga
Now,
os
let's
hormônios
first
na
create a page
circulação,
that should serve as a
ou
forum.
doença de Graves, né? Então, a doença de
just create a
Graves,
new one
ela
and
tem um
call it
início,
forum.
às vezes pode ser mais
And,
súbito,
we
mas
should
esse
maybe also make sure that the
ele vai,
permalink
em
is
geral,
called
progredindo
/forum.
se a
That's
gente
great,
não
and we
tratar.
publish
Então,
it.
o paciente às vezes
But
chega
again,
um pouco mais
how do we get
atrasado,
this
né,
to
no
be a forum
diagnóstico, já
now?
perdeu
I
bastante
mean,
peso,
we don't want to write anything
e,
ourselves here, like
já perdeu
making the
bastante
structure
peso,
anything.
e
And
a
actually, we don't
gente
even have to do that
tem
anymore.
essa
If we just
história
go to
no
Google
exame
and
físico,
we can enter
o
BB
quadro
Press
clássico,
short
ou
code.
quando
If
não
you're a
tem
little bit
dúvida, né,
familiar
a
with
gente
short
bate o
code,
olho
then you know
assim,
this it's going to
tem,
be a very
e
easy
não, é
task.
uma
And
doença de
if we go to
Graves,
the website of
quando
BB
tem
Press themselves and go to the
os olhos
documentation
mais
section and
saltados,
have a look at all the short
e
codes, and we
também a
have
presença de bócio, que
quite
é o
short
aumento
list
da
here of
tireoide.
some
A
very
tireoide é
useful
aqui, tá, gente?
short
Nessa
codes,
região
and one of
mais
the
para baixo, quer dizer,
short codes
abaixo
that
do
we want to use now is
abaixo
the
do
BB
bom
Press Forum
de Adão.
Index. And
Quando
you
tem
might
olho
already
saltado,
expect
bócio,
what it
a
does
pessoa,
actually. So all we have to
pode
do is
estar
to
realmente,
post
mais
it in here,
emagrecida,
nothing
acelerada.
else,
Gente,
and
fazer assim,
update. Click
tá
on update.
tremendo,
And if we then
pulso
preview the
acelerado,
page on your
batimento 100,
forum page,
120,
we can see this.
pele quente,
We basically have a forum
que
running.
mais? Na história a gente
So we have all the three
já
forums that
viu,
we just
né?
created,
É raro
and we see an overview
ou,
of the
de
topics
ter
and an
algum
overview of
acometimento
the
da
posts.
pele
The
também.
freshness,
Às vezes
like
tem umas
when
lesões
was
na
the
região
last
da
post
perna,
to a certain
é
topic or
muito
anything
raro.
like
A
that.
doença de Graves
Okay, now if you
uma
believe
doença
it or
que não
not,
é
the
tão
basic
rara, mas a
functionality of the
manifestação
forum is already
dermatológica da doença
implemented.
de
It is
Graves
working. But
é
some, of course,
é mais
fundamental things are
raro.
missing because
E aí a gente já
I mean, we
viu
are
a
logged in
história,
right now, but what
viu
happens
o
if
paciente, né, e
if we
vai,
access our
então,
website or
pedir
if
os
we
exames
access the forum
de
while we're
laboratório
not
pra ver o
logged in,
grau
we
de
can do this in an
hipertireoidismo. A gente
incognito
aumenta,
tab.
não tem dúvida que
Then there is no availability. I mean, we're not logged in right now, but there is no availability for somebody to log into the forum. And if we click on such a sub-forum here, we can see you must be logged in to create new topics. But where's the functionality? How can we log in? And if we don't even have an account, we have to be able to register for it, right? And also, when we have an account and when we are registered, what if we forget our password? We have to find a way to reset our password. So there are a couple of elements we still have to implement here. Let's take care of this now. And if we look at the shortcode list of BB Press again, then we have a bunch of shortcodes also related to account. And we have here the login, the register, and the loss password shortcode. And this is quite handy. Let's first take care of the login screen. And the way I want to implement it is that we have a sidebar here on the right for all the pages that are related to forums. So when we go to home, there should be no sidebar with login, but in anything that is forum and then below, if we are in any of these subforums, there should be a sidebar with the login screen and
TRAB,
so on.
né? O anticorpo contra a tireoide,
Yeah, so
correndo
how do
por
we do
fora
this?
e toma o lugar, toma as vezes do TSH,
Go to
faz com que a
appearance
tireoide
and then
produza
widgets.
mais
And here we
hormônio,
already
faz com
see
que
that there is a widget area new created since we installed the BB Press
bócio.
plugin, and it's called BB Press Sidebar. This is already cool because it says the sidebar is used for forum pages. That means it will automatically only be visible in any forum page. This is cool. And yeah, so here on the left, of course, we could use any of the existing widgets to be put inside the sidebar, but I want to only put the shortcode that I have in my clipboard. And so I select this text widget, add it to the sidebar, I call it
a doença autoimune, ela pode, né, assim, não só ter tipo de anticorpo, a doença autoimune da tireoide, o TRAB, o anti-TPO, o antireoglobulina serve mais pra gente fazer o acompanhamento pós-cirúrgico do câncer de tireoide, mas os dois principais.
page,
TRAB, estimulatório, e o anti-TPO, que é o inibitório, vamos dizer assim, da função tireoidiana. Mas aí o protagonista dessa história é o TRAB, e o TRAB, em geral, está positivo, no sentido de ele estar acima do valor de referência, e então o paciente tem o gosto, né, e também o TRAB, ele estimula a proliferação, o crescimento
function
Peraí,
to have the sidebar options available or
tocando o telefone aqui.
Okay, so let's have a look at our page again. I click on preview changes.
Bom, vamos seguir aqui. O TRAB, mas depois eu volto a falar. O TRAB, ele estimula também o crescimento das células que ficam atrás do olho.
And see how it looks when we're not logged in.
Deixa eu ver uma pergunta que apareceu aqui. Depois eu volto. Deixa o telefone parar de tocar.
Fields and can log in with our normal WordPress credentials. And
então,
any user that is registered with this WordPress installation could log in here to the forum as well, as he could do it in the admin area as well. So what is now still missing is the option to create a new account or to restore a password of an existing account.
Doença de Graves, sim,
and the way that I want to implement it is actually that additionally to the option to log in here, we have a little link here which guides to a new page which offers the possibility to make a new account. So I don't want to have always a field here or two fields to make a new account, because most people maybe have already one, or it would just waste too much of space if we had too many fields here. So all I want to have here is a little link, and of course we have to use the shortcodes again that we found here on the BDPress documentation website. And the way that I'm going to do it is to create a new page, and I call it register.
E pode causar toda aquela,
a gente
chama proptose do olho pulado, e às vezes fica bastante inflamado. Tem casos muito graves de doença de oftalmopatia de Graves. E mais uma coisa bem interessante, né, é que pode ter oftalmopatia de Graves sem hipertireoidismo, mas o que ou até a oftalmopatia de Graves preceder, vir antes do hipertireoidismo. Mas o que é mais clássico é a gente realmente ter o hipertireoidismo, o bócio, né, e a oftalmopatia meio que sendo em sequência, né? Quanto aí a gente vai começar, né, fez o diagnóstico e já iniciar o tratamento. Então, as medicações, na verdade, tem três opções, né? Aqui a Lori perguntou sobre o
href, meaning the target of the link. I will write WordPress
o TRAB nem sempre dá positivo, né?
URL of my local host installation here, and then
o que é mais comum realmente é o anti-TPO, que é o anticorpo contra tireoide positivo, mas nem sempre um anticorpo positivo. Aqui estou falando no geral, quer dizer que a pessoa tem a doença, vai desenvolver a doença ou hipotireoidismo. Como a gente não pede, eu não deveria pedir TRAB de rotina, a gente só pede quando está investigando o hipertireoidismo, né? E aí a gente vai pedir os exames laboratoriais, vai vir TSH baixinho, né, por conta do hipertireoidismo, T4, os hormônios da tireoide altos, T4 livre alto, o TRAB positivo. Ele pede um ultrassom de tireoide, aí vai ver a tireoide aumentada de volume.
Now the break is necessary that I have these two links on two separate lines, otherwise they would be directly next to each other. This is not what I want to do. We could do this, however, and just separate them with this space or something, but this is entirely up to you. Okay, and then I save the page, I'll save this widget, and I have a look at it
e aí o diagnóstico diferencial, né? O paciente pode ter um quadro de hipertireoidismo com bócio sem sem exoftalmo.
And here we
Pode
go.
ser
We have
doença
the two
de
links,
Graves
register
ou
account
pode ser
and restore
ósseo, que
password.
tem
If we
muitos
click on
nódulos e
register
alguns
account,
deles
we get guided to these fields,
aumentam,
which
né, a
says
produção
your username
hormonal,
must be unique and cannot be changed later,
que a gente chama,
and we use
ou
your email
o
address and so on
unidodular
to verify your
tóxico.
account. So you
Então,
have
com o exame de
to enter
sangue,
here the
com
username and
ultrassom, a
email
gente
and
já
have already the register
meio
button
que
here. This is
mata
all done
aí
for
a
us,
charada
very easy. And
da
very
diferenciação
similar, if we click on
dos
restore password, we
hipertireoidismos.
have
Quando o
one
quadro
field
não é
which
muito
just
claro,
is
né,
the
assim,
username
não tá
or email, and
bem
this way a user
na
could
cara
easily
que é uma
reset the
doença de Graves,
password.
no sentido dela
This is so
paciente é
convenient. I
fácil,
mean,
sabe?
all we did is just
Específica,
enter the shortcodes on
característica,
some
né?
of the
A
pages
gente tem
and
que
then put a link in
fazer
here,
esse
and we
diagnóstico
already have
diferencial.
a
A doença de
complete
Graves é uma
functional
doença que
forum.
dá mais, né?
Now we
Terceira,
can
quarta
extend
década
this
de
sidebar
vida,
with a
mais
couple of
raro
more
em
things.
pessoas
This is
mais
quite cool because the
cuidado
shortcode
mais
list here was much
avançado,
longer.
pode
There are
aparecer em
even
adolescente também,
more
né? Assim,
shortcodes
são
that we could
pacientes
use. For
mais
example,
jovens.
forum-specific search we
também,
could add to the
mas aí a gente
sidebar.
já vê tudo isso. Outro
However, there
exame
is already
que
a search
pode...
here on top of the main forum itself.
Deixa eu ver aqui, gente.
But of course, we could do.
As
We could just
perguntas.
add another one in the sidebar. And there are a
Olha,
couple of more
Janice
choices of
perguntou,
shortcodes that you can implement somewhere on your website. I let you play around with it yourself, and
Se for autoimune, em geral,
yeah,
as
one of the last
autoimunes,
things that I
elas
want to
têm
show you
aí
here
uma
is that you see
aglomeração,
here on the
né?
left side are also a couple of widgets available from the BB Press,
Então,
from the
aqui.
forum. You also have a login
Pode
widget
ter
here, by the
doença de
way, that you
Graves
could
com TRAB
use in a similar
negativo.
fashion
Poxa.
as a forum login,
Olha,
similar
é um
to
marcador da
the
doença,
shortcode that
viu?
we use. But I
Então,
think this is
com
a
TRAB negativo,
nicer
a
little
gente
way
praticamente
to do it, because you could
doença de
just add
Graves.
it
Aí
anywhere on
vai
your
entrar
website, and widgets usually
se tem quadro
just
de
in certain
hipertireoidismo,
widget areas.
tireotoxicose, com TRAB
They
negativo,
work
a
actually
gente
very
pode ver
similar.
o exame
Behind
que
these
eu
widgets
ia
are
falar,
only
né?
those shortcodes.
Que é a
So another idea is
cintilografia de
to, for
tireoide,
example,
né?
just
O que
add these
acontece,
recent
a
topics to
cintilografia
our
de tireoide é
BB Press
útil
sidebar, and you
nesses
could say like,
diagnósticos.
I only want to have the
Ultrassom não deu nódulo.
displayed
O
and
TRAB é
ordered by
negativo,
popular topics, for
ou
example.
assim,
You can also
positivo,
show the
muito pouco
post
alterado,
date,
né? E a gente está em dúvida
and this
se
will
aquela
also be
tireoide, né,
permanently
liberou os
available or
hormônios
visible in the BB Press
pré-estocados
sidebar.
ou se
Also
ela
quite
está
nice.
funcionando para
If we
mais
reload
pela
the page,
cintilografia
then, of course,
de
we
tireoide
probably
quando a
don't see
gente
anything because there
pega
are no topics.
o iodo,
So you would
né?
probably
Tem o
first create some content to have that
tem os
displayed.
marcadores
Okay, and
radioativos
this was it for the
desses
introduction about the
elementos,
BB
né,
Press forum. You
que
saw that it was
a
fairly
tireoide
easy to
ela
create a
capta
very
de forma
professional looking
mais
forum. And of
ávida,
course there
né,
are
de forma
million ways to customize it, to make it look
mais
nicer. You can use custom CSS to
então,
change
iodo
all these elements,
radioativo
and depending
ou
on your theme,
percletato,
it would look
a gente,
a little bit different
que são
anyway,
usados na
like the
cintilografia,
search
né?
buttons here
Então a
and the color
cintilografia,
of
quando
these
capta mais
forum
esses,
names, these
esses
are all depending
marcadores,
on the actual
quer
theme that you
dizer
have
que a tireoide está
installed on
funcionando
your
para
WordPress
mais, e aí é o
installation.
hipertireoidismo por aumento
This
da
video
produção,
is
fala
super
mais a favor
important
da
for
doença de Graves.
anyone that has more
Quando a
than one
cintilografia
website.
é
In this
negativa,
tutorial,
há uma
I'm going to show you how to
captação diminuída,
consolidate
fala a favor que
control
aquele tecido foi
of all your
basicamente
websites
destruído,
in one
depois
control
tá
panel. So you're going to be
inativo,
able to
e aí a
log into one
cintilografia
control
vem
panel,
negativa.
see all the
Então,
updates that are available for
pra-
all your
pra-
websites. You
pra
can click
aumento
one
da-
button
da-
and they
da
will all be
produção de
updated plugins,
hormônios.
themes,
E o
even
aumento,
WordPress
sem
itself.
dúvida,
There's
e o
also
aumento
other options in
da
this tool. It's a completely free tool. I'm going to walk you through everything in this tutorial. And like I said, it's perfect for anyone that has more than one website, especially if you're an agency and you are managing multiple websites. Hi, my name is Adam from WPCrafter.com, where I teach non-techies how to use WordPress. And this is actually a very timely tutorial because just yesterday I was on Facebook and someone that I know, one of those internet friends, you know, people you haven't met in person, but you talk to them on Facebook or whatever. I saw him post that all his websites were hacked into and he didn't know what to do. And since I am Facebook friends with the guy, I said, you know what, just message me, I'm going to help you out. And when I jumped into his web hosting account to try to see what the heck happened, the reason all of his websites were hacked was because he was using an outdated version of a plugin called Ultimate Shortcodes. And so I went to Ultimate Shortcodes, where it's listed on WordPress.org, and I saw there was a serious security problem, and they patched it like 3 weeks ago, and whoever hacked into his websites used that vulnerability. And so I helped him, cleaned it all out. It took about 2 hours of time, but it was no big deal because I wanted to just help this guy out and get him back in business. That being said, my advice was him to start using this. He's not a web agency, he just has more than one website, and this is a tool for anyone that has more than one website so that you can keep tabs on it. So the name of the tool is MainWP. You can just go to MainWP, but it's in the WordPress repository. I'm going to show you how to install it and configure it. I just wanted to go through their website. They do have some extensions that you may want to consider down the line. I was just looking through the list today, and even though I've been using this tool for the last 3 years and I have access to all of the extensions, a lot of them you don't need, the vast majority of them. So I think the vast majority of people aren't going to need any of these paid extensions, but some of them you might want to know about for the future. So this is what this control panel is going to allow us to do. You can connect in unlimited WordPress websites. You can manage unlimited WordPress websites through this one tool. One thing I really like the most is you get one-click admin access. So right now, if you want to log into one of your websites, you have to type in that URL and then manually log in. But when it's connected in with this tool, you just go to the dashboard and you click one button on the site that you want, and bam, you're immediately logged in. I really love that feature. It's super convenient because I don't know about you, but I tend to forget websites that I have, and that's what ends up happening. You forget you have a website, it doesn't get updated, and that's when things start to break loose. Centralized management, multiple backup solutions, I'll talk about that. Plugin and theme management, this is big. User management, content management, I don't use it for that. Uptime monitoring, I don't use it for that. And security and vulnerability checks. So you can see the list of the features that it has. Now let me go here to show you the various extensions that are available, and I'll just talk through them. A couple of them that you will need, they're actually free. So I'll show you those, but I just want to talk through the various add-ons, extensions that are available, just so you know that they're there. I think there's a couple that are really good if you're an agency, but you can maybe purchase them down the line once you're managing like 10 or so websites. So here's an advanced uptime monitor. This is free, and it integrates with Uptime Robot. This is actually kind of cool, but it is a little duplicating because you still have to manually add the website into Uptime Robot, but it is really cool. So you can say you had 10 websites, you can look at the uptime just by glancing. Article Uploader, I don't use this. Backup WordPress. Now some of these extensions, what they're going to add to it is the ability to use third-party plugins on your website. And, you know, for example, Updrafts, it's a backup plugin, and there's several settings you need to click. Well, what this will allow you to do is automatically configure all those settings in one click. So you can have, you know, so you say you have 10 websites and they're all using Updrafts, and you think, I want to change a setting. Instead of manually going to each website and changing the setting, you can just do it in MainWP and it will push that change out. So there's some time-saving features. So here's a free extension that works with a free plugin called Backup WordPress. That's nice that it's actually free. Here's another one that works with a different backup solution. Here's a free one that works with Blog Vault. Here's a boilerplate extension. What this does is I don't use this either. It allows you to create commonly used pages on your sites, like a privacy support policy, term of use, stuff like that. I don't necessarily use that. Branding, this is actually for people that have clients that are actually logging into the websites. You may want to consider this will allow you to change the branding of the plugin you have to have installed on the websites you're managing. It's cool, and you can also, I think with this, you can also change other things in WordPress to kind of change the look of it a little bit. It's up to you if you're one of those people that really likes white label stuff, but I find even when you give a website over to a client and you're managing it for them, I find that they don't ever log in. So I don't necessarily see this as crucial, but it's definitely up to you. Broken leaks checker, I've never used that. Bulk settings manager. This is actually really good to change settings in bulk across all of your websites. Clean and lock, this is free. This is one that you're going to want. Essentially, since main WP, the main centralized dashboard, just gets installed on a WordPress website, I like to have a dedicated WordPress install for it. So what this will allow you to do is when if someone was to visit, and I'm going to demonstrate it, was to visit that separate WordPress website, they wouldn't see anything. It would just redirect them to the main one. And I'm going to explain that and configure that in this video. Client reports, this is one you're probably going to want if you are an agency and you have several clients. What this will do is allow you to, it'll automate generating reports, and it'll do cool things like pull in analytics and changes and updates made and all that, so, and send it in an automated fashion. That way your clients know you're actually doing something if you're charging them a monthly fee to manage the website, and you are. Clone, I don't actually use this. This will allow you to clone a website that you have. I had some problems with it. I rather just manually do it with updrafts or all-in-one migration. Code snippets, this is nice. I've actually never used it, and this allows you to add little snippets to the various websites that you're managing. Comments, I don't use this. I get an email notification from my WordPress website when there's a comment, and then I log in and respond to it. Maybe if this is helpful if you're managing a lot of websites for clients and those notifications aren't coming to you and you just want to see the comments and maybe respond to them from the centralized control panel. However, I find most websites don't really get any comments unless they're spam comments, which you wouldn't get as long as you put some kind of spam blocking plugin. Here's an extension for managing custom post types. This would be creating and publishing content to custom post types. Never used that. Favorites, this is actually kind of neat. So you can have favorite plugins that you want to install on websites. So it makes it easier to install a bunch of plugins on a brand new website you're adding to main WP to manage. I've used that a couple times actually. File uploader, this is just to upload a file to a website. Analytics, this is cool. I just manually log into analytics. You can see I'm showing you intentionally that a lot of these extensions you probably don't need. So iTheme security, I do like this one. When I install iTheme security on a new site that I'm adding to the network, it'll configure it just the way I like it. So it saves me the manual hassle of manually configuring iTheme's security. I do like this, and it is helpful if you want to change a setting. You just change it in main WP and it pushes that change out to all your sites that you have iTheme's security on. Links manager, don't use that. Maintenance, this is okay, but I use maintenance from a different plugin, so I've never used the maintenance actually for this. But if you don't have a plugin that's already providing these basic maintenance type of processes, it would be nice to have. Okay, main WP buddy, this is to manage backup buddy. Page speed, I don't use this either because you have to have a plugin installed on the site, and this kind of pulls in that information. PWIC, it's like Google Analytics. Post stripper, I don't use main WP to push content out. I rather just go to these websites and put the content in directly. So post stripper, you can have it drip feed out posts to your websites. Post Plus, WP Rocket, that I do use and I do like because that's a caching plugin. I have that on all my websites. If I ever want to change something or push a configuration, I can easily do that right here. Spinner, don't use that. I don't like spinning. Security, this is actually cool that it's here for free and it will do like a malware scanning. I don't use the free service anyway. Team control, if you do have an agency and you want someone else to be able to log in and manage it without giving them the whole keys to the kingdom, you might want the team control. That is pretty cool when you're at that size or need it. Updrafts Plus, I do like this. Oh, I didn't actually realize it's free. So this is actually going to be really good. I didn't know it was free. That is sweet. So essentially, this is going to allow you to configure updrafts on all your websites. And if you have been paying attention to this channel, I recommend everyone use updrafts. It's a free backup plugin. That's fantastic. URL extractor, never use that. Vulnerability checker, that's probably cool, and that's also free. WooCommerce shortcuts, WooCommerce status. This might be cool if you're managing a lot of WooCommerce websites and you want to see snapshots of sales and things of that nature. WordFence, I don't use WordFence, but that will control that. Sorry, guys. WordPress SEO for same thing, managing that, and here's something for getting some help. So sorry, this video is getting a little long. Let's just get into the meat and potatoes of it. But I just wanted to show you this for a reason. I wanted you to know that this tutorial and everything I'm showing you, it's all free. There's no cost to anything. And later down the line, if you wanted one or two of these, you could get it. They also have a membership plan, and you know, I do have the lifetime membership. It was $400, I think. Wow, it's pretty expensive, but I've been using it for 3 years, so I definitely think I've received my money's worth out of it. Okay, so here, there's 2 ways to install this. Essentially, the control panel is just a plugin. Now, you could put it on your main website if you want. I don't like doing that. I like to maybe keep it separate, but it's your choice, okay? So there's a couple things you can do. You can install it on your main website if you wanted to. Number 2, if you've heard me talk about Local by Flywheel. It's this app right here. Let me pull it up. Local by Flywheel, and it installs WordPress on your local machine. You can actually use this for reaching out and managing your websites out on the internet if you want. And I actually did this for some of the time that I've used main WP. Or the third option, which I'm going to show you in this video, is to create what's called a subdomain, install WordPress there, and install main WP there. And that's how I use it. So I would do dashboard. The URL would be dashboard dot the name of the URL.com, and that's where I would go to manage everything. So I'm logged into a web hosting account that I have with InMotion, and this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to jump into cPanel, and so any hosting account, you probably already know how to install WordPress, but I want to show you how I add a subdomain and then install WordPress. So essentially, all these cPanels are going to look the same, so you just want to scroll down to where it says subdomains right here. And so I'm going to create a subdomain. Now what happens is, first we enter what we want the first part of that domain to be, and then right here we have the second part of that domain, which is your domain name. Now if you have more than one domain name on your hosting account, this will show you a list of them. So I'm going to go ahead and enter dashboard. Okay, now when I enter that and I click away, it's going to show me what it's going to look like, dashboard.show the demo. And all I have to do is go ahead and click on create. And it's going to go ahead and create this subdomain for me, and then I'll be able to install WordPress on it. So here it is, success, dashboard.showthedemo.com has been created. So I'm going to click on go back, and actually I don't need to do that. I want to click on home. I'm sorry, I want to get back into my cPanel. Okay, so now you can install WordPress the way you like to do it. I like to do it with Softaculous, and it is right here, Softaculous. So I'm going to click on WordPress. It takes me right into Softaculous. I'm going to go ahead, click on install. Now for here, what I would suggest, if your web host provides free SSL certificates, and InMotion is one of those web hosting companies that does provide free SSL certificates, I would go ahead and install it on HTTPS. So for me, I think I can go back here to cPanel. Actually, it was right here. I'm sorry. So I go here and I can go to manage free SSL basic like this, and I can actually enable the free SSL certificate right here. Actually, it's automatically going to install it. Sorry, because I had this enabled. So it's automatically going to put that free SSL certificate in for me. Okay, sorry for getting sidetracked there. I just wanted to show you that it's probably a good idea to use the SSL certificate if your web host provides a free one. and InMotion does. GoDaddy doesn't. There's so many that don't, but there's good ones out there that do. All the hosts that I recommend, I will only recommend a host that gives you free SSL certificates. You can visit ordernewhosting.com to see a list of them. Okay, click on install now. HTTPS is perfect. So now I'm going to choose the domain, but I need to choose that subdomain that I just created. So it's dashboard show the demo. And so I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to go ahead and fill this out. I just need to put a username and a password in, and then I'll go ahead and click on that install button. Okay, I've filled that out, my admin account right there. And Softac list, depending on what host you have, it might try to install an additional plugin or so, and so this one's trying to install WP Forms Lite. I'm going to uncheck that because I don't want to install anything. I'll go ahead and click on install. It's just going to take a moment or two, and it's going to install that for me. Now I will say sometimes when you add a new SSL certificate, it might take a little bit of time to propagate or go into effect, so we're going to see if it's working for me. If not, I might get some warnings temporarily. Okay, so it looks like my installation is done, and so I'm going to go ahead and click where it says administrative URL, and hopefully this works. Yeah, so my SSL certificate is not working just yet, but I can click on advanced and I can click on proceed, which is totally fine, and it's going to take me right in. So here we go. Now I'm going to go ahead to plugins, click on add new, and let's do a search for main WP. Okay, when you do the search, we're going to see the various plugins that are available. So main WP dashboard is what we want to install here. Now on each of the sites that we're going to manage through main WP, we want to install this main WP child. So I'm on the dashboard, I'm going to use main WP dashboard. Now as I scroll down, we have these two additional plugins that are freely available here. Those free ones that I showed you on main WP's website, you actually have to get an account on their website in order to install those. Okay, so we have main WP child reports. I actually do not know what this is. I think I know what it is. This will track the changes that actually happen from a settings level, like auditing everything on the child websites. And then we have this thing called main WP Keymaker. I'm surprised they actually offer this for free. This is more advanced. I'm not going to go over it in this video, and that's because I haven't even really used it myself. But the concept behind it is with this, and it's a little complicated to use, you can actually automate the settings, configuring the settings of any plugin you use in WordPress using this free plugin right here. It looks like that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and install this dashboard and give you a quick look around on that. It's just going to take a moment to install, and then I'm going to go ahead and install the child plugin on a website and automate some backups. Okay, I just activated it. Wow, this is actually new. I'm glad what more plugins are doing this, having some kind of an onboarding process. I've never gone through it with main WP because I installed it 3 years ago. So it looks like it's going to take us through all of these steps. So let's just go through it together. I'll go ahead and click on Let's Go, and it's asking me, oh, this is very good, where I'm installing this. So I'm actually installing it on the web host, but I told you could also do it on a local host. So I'll go ahead and click on Continue. Now what it's doing is it's checking certain things on your web hosting account, and it's basically saying what is the PHP version, is there SSL, all this kind of stuff. It's all there. It's checking all your versions. I've got a pass on all of them. Sweet. Let's click on continue. Now there's little tweaks it'll make based upon your hosting account. So by default you would choose the type of hosting you have. So I am on a shared hosting, and this is where you tell it how many child sites you're planning on managing. It's definitely less than 50. I'll click on continue, and so now we're going to optimization. Now what this is asking is if I want to hide from Google or a bot that I'm using main WP. I actually do have this enabled, on where I use it. So I'm going to click on yes, but you would want to read this and make that decision for yourself. Now, what this is asking, and this is one of the things I really like about Main WP and why I want it on the internet, is it can automatically do these updates for you. You don't have to log into it and click on update. It'll manually scan these websites daily, and it will manually add these updates. And what you can do is you can say, you can mark plugins as do not update, which means you're considering it one of those plugins you don't want it to automatically update because maybe you've had problems with it in the past. So what this is saying is for the Main WP child plugin, do you want this to be a trusted update? Meaning you're saying this update, you're free to update this automatically without me. So let's leave that to yes, of course. Notifications. This you're definitely going to want to turn on. Essentially what happens is when Main WP automatically scans all your child websites to find updates, it'll let you know if there's updates. You'll get an email. I like that. So click on yes and put in your best contact email where you know you're going to see it. Sometimes I don't like getting automatic emails, I'll tell you that. It could get a little annoying, but something as important as this, I think it's really good. So right now it's actually asking you if you're going to use Main WP for backups, and it's giving you the option of one of these free extensions to manage these backup plugins. A little backstory, Main WP used to do its own backups, and over time it's not an easy task to have a backup plugin because there's so many different hosting environments. So what ends up happening is it was problematic, and so they instead decided to allow you to use these free plugins and then just control the settings through Main WP. So here are the various plugins. I recommend Updrafts, so I'm going to leave that enabled, and it's a free extension. I'm assuming it's automatically going to add it for me. So let's go ahead and click on continue. Now right here is what I was saying when I was showing you those free extensions on Main WP's website, that you actually need an account there that you would put in here in order to download those free extensions, and if you bought something in the future, those as well. So because I said yes, we want to make backups, and I chose the updrafts, right here it's essentially saying you just got to make a free account in order to download these because they're not in the repo for whatever reason, and that's okay. So you just want to click on this green button, and it says it's going to take you over to their website. So when I click on it, it opens in a new tab. So you're still here at this step, and right here, if you didn't want to, you could click here to, wow, I actually didn't read this. It says if you prefer to register later, I can click here to automatically download and install the extension. That's pretty cool. Let's just do that for sake of time, although there's no problem with using setting up an account with them and getting the plugin that way. And it's good because right now it doesn't look like it actually worked. That's okay. I'm going to click on continue. We'll circle around back to this. Now on this step where it's talking about the WP cron, this is a technical thing that all kind of web apps have. It's called a cron. Now what a cron does is it automates processes, and so one of the automated processes in here is to go to the child sites and to see what updates need to be done or are available and to do it, and so that's called a cron. Now crons need triggers, and so right here the way WordPress triggers crons is WordPress, as soon as it gets, say, some traffic on the website, that's when a cron gets triggered. This is saying, let's instead, since this is going to be a separate site, you're not going to get any traffic on it, that cron might trigger at irregular times. So what this is saying is, why don't you set up an Uptime Robot account? What Uptime Robot does is it checks your website every 5 minutes to see if it's online. That would be the traffic that would trigger the cron. I'm going to actually skip this step. I would recommend that you set up Uptime Robot. In fact, I have a video. If you search my videos or my website for how to monitor uptime, or just search for monitor uptime, I have a full tutorial video on how to set up Uptime Robot, and I strongly urge you, have Uptime Robot on all of your websites so that you can know immediately if there's any downtime. You also get to know how well your web hosting company is doing. So I'm going to just click on continue. Let's see if it lets me move forward. Now, I really like this step. So what this is saying is, since I'm using this plugin on a dedicated WordPress installation, I'm not going to use posts and pages and media and appearance and all those normal WordPress settings. So if you're doing it like I am, I can actually just have it automatically hide these unused portions of WordPress that I'm not going to use. So I don't need to see the dashboard, the posts, the media, pages, appearance, comments, users, or tools, because I'm just using this WordPress install for main WP. This is going to clean it all up for me. And then there's this separate sidebar navigation just for main WP. This is how I use it. You can actually change this later in the settings if you want, but you wouldn't want to do this if you're putting main WP like on your main website, because then now you're going to not see those options in the sidebar. So I'm going to click on continue. I do think it's best to use main WP on its own WordPress installation though. Okay, so we're at the end here and it says add a new site. So let's click that. And here we are. So this is now what this WordPress installation looks like, and it's taking you into a tour. So essentially what we need to do is we need to put the URL here of the site we're adding. We need to put the username right here for it. Right here you would put a friendly name. So this is when you're looking at a list of websites, this can be the name that you actually see there, and this is good if you have tons of websites. You can group your websites right here, but we need this child unique security ID right here. I'm actually going to end this tour and I'm going to go ahead and add this first website. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you how to do it from scratch. So here is what your main WP dashboard now looks like. It's pretty slick if you ask me. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of these notices. So right here it's saying, do we want to allow auto updates of main WP child? Let's just turn that on and try to get rid of this notice. And right here it is, oops, let's go up here. And here's the last one. It's basically saying, it's funny that it's saying it now. Basically, it's saying my advice of install this on its own WordPress installation. So I'm just going to go ahead and click there. So now we kind of have a free, clean website. So I can click on overview and see an overview of my websites. And right here, it lets you know when the last sync was done. This is syncing is when it checks the website, your child websites for you for updates and things like that. And here's some snapshots of it. I don't have any websites in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here where it says sites, and I'm going to click on add new, and this is the process of adding a new website. So I'm going to go ahead and start filling this out, but I'm not going to have this unique security ID because I need to get that from the child site, and I'm going to show you what I mean. Okay, so I just put in my URL and I put in my username and my friendly site name. It just auto-generated that. That's fine. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to add the main WP client plugin. So here I am on the website. I'm going to add showthedemo.com. I've been using this for a lot of demos. You can see the website needs some updates too. So I'm going to go to plugins, add new, and I'm going to type in main WP. Now this time I need to install the child plugin, and this is what you're going to install on all the websites you want to manage. I'll go ahead and click on install now, and then when I activate it, it's going to give me a unique code that I need to copy and paste into the dashboard plugin or app or whatever we're calling it. So here it is. It's giving you this warning now as soon as you activate it, and that's because now anyone that has that unique ID, which no one would even have it anyway, they can like now connect into your website. So you don't want to activate the child plugin and then not do the other part, which is actually finish connecting it to the dashboard. Okay, so it's giving you that warning. So it used to actually show the ID I needed to copy and paste right here, but it's actually not doing that. So I'm going to go to settings, main child, and see if that's where it's going to give me my ID. Oh, I see. I could actually connect it without the unique security ID. That's what this is saying. So I forgot that the unique security ID was actually an optional thing. but I would actually think you would want that by default. So I'm assuming I can click add new site and it will connect, but I'd rather use that unique ID. So I think I want to go ahead and click here, require unique security ID. Click on save changes, and I'm assuming there it is. It's going to give it to me. And then when I take this code, I can go ahead and paste it right here, like this, and then click on add new site. Now what it's going to do is right here, it will let you, it's checking the website and it will let you know if it's connected properly. Now it's not connecting properly for me because I actually put an email address for the administrator username. I didn't actually use the username, and that is because I don't remember what the username is, which is a big problem. So let me go here and get the username real quick. And it's this right here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy, and I'm going to paste that username in. You should know what your usernames are. I just use that for testing, so I'm being a bad example here. Alright, now when I click on add new site, it's saying adding the site to main WP, and there it is. So now I have my site here, and so what's going to happen is you're going to see right here a list of your websites, and right here will be the name of the site and the URL. If I wanted to jump right into the admin, I can do that right here. And what this for means is this. So if I'm here on the WordPress website, you see right there, I have 4 updates that need to happen here. Now actually, if I do a refresh, you're going to see this attention go away because it knows it's now connected to main WP. All of it's done. I now have connected this website to main WP. So here I am on main WP. I can click on overview again and check this out. When I click on overview right here, it says there's 4 updates available. And so if I had this connected to 10 websites and there's 30 updates available, that's what it would show me. It says there's 3 plugin updates and 1 theme update. And when I click on this, I can see what the plugins are. And so here's the 3 plugins that need an update, and the same goes for theme updates right here. Also, if I had any WordPress updates, it would show that right here. Now what's nice is I can just click on update everything. And why not do that? I'll click on update everything, and then I'm going to click on OK. And what it's going to do is it's now going to go into my child websites that have updates that are needed, and it's going to go ahead and do those updates all automatically for me. I love that. And so in the beginning of this video, I told you about that situation where I helped someone whose websites were hacked. Well, if he was using main WP, he had known about it and was using main WP, then he would have easily been able to have an easier way to keep tabs on all of his websites. One click, update everything like you just saw me do. And here it is. It says you've just updated 1 site, 4 total updates in 22 seconds. So here I am. If I do a refresh, we should see this go away. Let's do that. And that's because main WP just updated everything on this website for me. So if I close out that tab and close out this tab, here's one of the convenience features that I like of main WP. I can click on sites right here, and I can click on manage sites. Well, it automatically takes me there, and I can see my list of websites. What I can do right here is click on open WP area, and it just takes me straight on into the website. So if I have 20 websites, it's kind of a pain in the butt to have to type in the URL for the website you want to go in, then type your username and type your password. When you have it done this way, you one click and you're right on in there to the website. So there it is. So here is all of the various settings that we get with main WP. Let me just go through some of them really quick. If you want to add a new website, you go to sites, add new, and you saw how I connected it. You basically fill out the information, then you install the client plugin on the website you want to control, generate that security key, copy and paste it in, connections done. You now have a centralized place to stay on top of everything. Okay, you can group them if you want. Posts and pages, I don't actually use this to create a post or a page and push it out to the child websites. You can do that if you wanted to, and that's what this is. You can manage themes. So I just clicked on themes. So you can manage the themes on these websites. You can install. You can do so many things with it. I think the plugins one I want to take a look at because that is a bit more practical. So let's click on manage plugins. So right here I can do a search for a plugin and I can manage it on these websites. So I can disable or delete plugins on all of my websites on my network if I wanted to. I like this install tab right here. What this is going to allow me to do is literally install a new plugin on all of the websites I select. So right here on the right, so here on the left I would choose the plugin, here on the right I would choose the websites that I wanted, and if I had 10 websites I could just click all and it will install this plugin automatically on all of these websites for me. So if you have 10 websites in here and they don't have backup, you can enter updrafts right here where it says search plugins. So I entered updraft. I can go ahead right here, click on install this plugin, and then I can click on this checkbox, and then right here I can click on complete installation, and it's going to go ahead and install it on all the websites that I checked the box on. And also if we had the main WP updrafts plugin, I could configure them all at the same time as well. Alright, so I think there's a way to, there it is. This is really cool and I've used this. So not only can you mass install a plugin from the WordPress repository, you can also mass install a plugin where you have the zip file downloaded. So you just click right here where it says upload zip, drag and drop it here, and you can push it